Welcome to the party, pal! What was that? Did you see that?
Was that the primary buffer panel?
It did seem to
Did
resemble...
the primary buffer panel just fall off my Gorham ship for no apparent reason?
This landing is going to get pretty interesting.
Define interesting.
Oh God, we're all going to die?
This is the captain. We have a little problem with our entry sequence, so we may experience some slight turbulence and then explode.
On screen.
Hello. Let's let it glare on those. But these are yellow parts that I ordered with my most recent bulk order on Bricklink. And they are going into a mosaic, which I need to make sure I have fired up, ready to go on no, not that file. What did I call it? That's the next question. There we go. Right. Grab a little tray. There's a base plate. And yes, I'm live again on another Monday. What is this? We had a concert last night.
There's a thing on top of the thing!
This thing, yes. Yeah, Kara and I were at a concert last night, and I'm at the age where I don't want to come back from the city at midnight and then have to get up at
very thick,
5 the
very
next
chunky,
morning.
and
to go to
they
work.
are packed to the brim.
So many weeks ago, I put in for annual leave for today, so that I did not have to do the whole midnight bus and Uber back home and then be up in a few hours to go to work. Smart. And in fact, I didn't buy the concert tickets until I definitely knew I had the next day off. All right, so, and this is a little teaser. That's another micro build that's going to be coming up. Now we're going to do the mosaic here. I'm not going to put the yellow parts into a yellow tray. That'll just be madness. And I should have enough pieces here. 2 of these 1x1s were the missing part in the original order. And there's quite a few sections of this that could have been done with corner bricks, but the Bricklink store didn't have enough. So there's quite a lot of 1x2 and 1x1 combos that are going to be in this. And yes, we are listening to... Okay, why did that not fire off? Ah, okay, just massive delay on Firebot's end, okay. That's fine. This is fine. Okay. So let's start with this. And Kara knows what this is, but kind of a secret. Oh, hang on. Let me check on a tab here. Okay. Alright. Alright, just checking in. Kara is not allowed to say what this is. But I think Kara had a hand in this. And if Millennium's liking Millennium knows what this is technically. He might not recognize the color, but he knows what this is. And then this goes there. That goes there. Spoiler alert, it's Lego. We have a corner plate rather, there. And coming up later, we will be opening up Studio and converting this album
Water to drink.
to a plate version. Thank you, Kara. All right. There's the brick version. Emergency. And there is a clue, depending on whether you're on mobile or PC, there is a clue as to what this could be. So 2x2 there. That goes there. No 1x2 there. No 1x2 there. 1x2 there. It's a microscale corn maze. Emergency. I'm falling off fight. Don't know if I can do it. Reason I lie. That's there. 1x6 lines up with that one. There's a 2 there and a 4 there, and then a 1 right in the middle. So yeah, it was nice having a sleep in instead of rushing off to work today. It was a good show last night. Saw 4 bands.
on the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships.
It's a quack attack.
Dookie say little monkey in trouble. George, investigate.
Welcome, Quack. Now, I did throw up a quick lurk before when I saw you were live, but for some reason, I wasn't actually following. I swear I was. And then there we go. So Eclipse, yeah, Twitch be Twitch. So I spent January Eclipse doing a whole bunch of jungle streams, building jungle Lego. And Set to Build is here as well. G'day, g'day. I'm going to jump back to this one here. So we're continuing the mosaic project. The missing pieces came in. So yes, I was building jungle Lego like these. And so I had a bunch of George of the Jungle redeems and clips playing for the month, and I've kept them on. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. So we're building a mosaic. Welcome in, Quack. How's your build going? I wasn't there long enough to see much, but I assume you're still working on your Brickworld mock? Nice. So yes, welcome in. For those who don't know me, I'm another Brick and AFOL, also called Bricko. As you saw in that sort of just chatting screen when you came in, there's a bunch of Lego mosaics beside me. I'm in the process of converting those to plate form to save on baggage space and baggage weight to travel with them. And this will also be joining me at shows, the one I'm currently doing. And Quack, if you need to get up, have a stretch break, food break, nap break, time zone break, do the post-stream things. Thank you very much for bringing your crew over here for some more Lego. It is 1:24 p.m. on Monday here in Queensland, Australia. And I think it's pretty obvious what this is in general right about now. And yeah, if it looks like I'm doing this really quickly, I do have my studio file up on a second monitor in front of me, which greatly helps. It's,
The BRB, it's BRB time. We're BRB.
more caffeine? No worries, Carrot. And that wraps around that way. Join one of those. Those there. One of those there. And that. That one's got a corner plate coming off that stud. Hope everyone's Sunday/Monday is going well. Goes up there. And 1x2 down here. There. Three single studs coming up diagonally here. Corner plate there. One there. And a one there. Got one of those. Goes there. The single stud and a 2x4 down here. A stud there. That bit's correct. Got a bit of a void in here to fill. Coming up from this 2x3, there's a single stud here. And same goes for the Raiders. If your time zone means you need to sleep, eat, etc., feel free to raid and run. Or raid and lurk. I am a serial lurker. Even if I'm not chatting, I'll often have the sound on in my headphones. So I'm working on stuff, and I'm listening to people. It gets fun when you're lurking on multiple people, and you want to listen to what both of them are talking about at the same time. It can be done. It's not ideal, but it can be done. 1x3 across here. Alright, so that's still got a little bit across here. This has a little bit of filling in to do. That goes there. That goes there. There. One there. Yes, it can be done. How are you, ASCII? Mr. Skywalker himself? I'm doing very well, thank you. Had a good sleep in, went out to a concert last night. We took the last public transport from sort of really close to us to get into the city. So we weren't there for doors open, but it did mean we didn't have to line up down the street outside the venue, which was nice. Just walk straight in. Okay, that one's there. Yeah, so a local band who I hadn't heard of called Headwreck. And then a band from France who I'd also hadn't heard before called Resolve. And then the bands that Kara and I were there to see was Silent Planet from California and Error from, I believe, Alabama. So it's Kara's first time seeing either of the bands. It was my second time seeing Error and my third time seeing Silent Planet. Is this extra? I can't see a spot where I've missed any, and I do know that, like, when I did this massive Bricklink order, I did have a few pieces that were surplus to my actual ordered quantity. I think this might be done. Well, we'll soon find out, because if you can scan this QR code and tell me what it says or where it leads to, then we'll know that this is an extra piece. All right. I'm going to bring my phone up to my because my hands are now in my own view. Okay, it works. So yes, this must be an extra piece. There we go. So yes, so now that I've done that, it's time to do this mini build, and it's time for what I teased yesterday as being channel news. So, and I did say there is a clue already. If you're on a PC looking at the stream, there is a clue already around the place. If you look in my About section, as of the weekend, I am now in a stream team. So there's that.
Pretty darn good.
So yes. So there's that. So that was pretty cool. So I was saving the QR code pieces until I'd done that. I believe Kara might have generated this code. It got sent to me by Millennium as a studio file. I changed it to be yellow because Australian sporting colours are green and gold. So, you know, there's the Aussie QR code for you. And now for this little micro build, which I wonder what these could make. And for my own part supply reasons, I'm going too deep with these. Let's do go under one of those. Those two go under a tile. Those two go under a tile. 2x2 plate for these. Oh, there we go. Stay together. That, and they will sit there like that. There we go. So that is the parts used in the logo. And I had enough lime and medium azure to make those. I don't really have a base for them, but these were extra from that order, so I could do... How do I... Kind of a nice way that they could stand, but I think I might just have to just have them sort of sit there. There we go. So that's today's mini build and the QR code mosaic. Now it is on to, so yes, and I've had this command before, but I've added some new emotes to it. There we go. There's the exclamation brick is the stream team shouty. And it is quite warm in here, so I am going to see if I can take my headset off. That is the sound of a shirt. And ahoy Fargonaut, welcome in. How is your Sunday Monday going? And welcome back, Kara. So, Kara, there's the QR code, which works. And we now have the things on screen, and I have built the BB. The things and the stuff. And there we go. That'll have it sit flat. Could make a little thing for it to rest on, or we just lie it down. Lie it down on the table. Yeah, that was a quick little mock-up in Studio while browsing my own little Bricklink store. To go, do I have these parts on hand to just... Yeah, thank you, Kara. So yes, that's the link to my Bricklink store. So I was like, do I have all those parts? And I was going to look for... Like, initially it was just, okay, is there any shade of blue? But when I had all the parts in that one shade, I was like, okay, that's the shade I'm going for. All right, so I'm going to hide this camera and bang, there we go. So there's Studio in the background, so that's what I worked from. Designed that up. We are going to open recent blank mosaic. There we go. And we're going to do what I did the other day. We are going to go... We're going to go off shuffle. There we go. And so the process is the same for all of my recoloring, because these were all designed on LDD on a different computer. I do not still have those files readily available, so I can't just import it and color swap. So I'm just starting with a blank 32 by 32 of single studs. And I'll basically just go in and repaint them. "13 dark red." And then coming down that way, it's 4. So we go red. I did miss a couple. There we go. There's a black. No worries, Quack. Thanks again for the raid. We'll catch you next time. Have a good sleep.
Don't let the space bugs bite.
It is sometimes hard to tell with the little light blue outlining of whether you've actually selected all of the things in an area. I do have down the bottom here, you'll see where it says 8 parts selected. That does help. Okay, yep, I've grabbed all of those ones that should be that color. Those ones are brown. That is dark tan. And then these ones are tan. Okay, that was silly. I just went to recolor white plates white. That's not gonna do anything. Dark tan. With a little L shape of light gray down here above the nose. Stayed in bed. Seen Eskimo Joe live, I think, twice, or possibly only once. One's dark bluish grey. We got some more dark tan pixels there. And there. Dark red. Dark grey. Black fingernails, red wine. I wanna make you all mine. You get there, you wanna go straight down. Oh, straight down. Hang in the air. Go walk downtown. Whoa. Down. Whoa. And then everything else around here is that shadow around his eyes. So that my Lego palette that basically just went black all the way around here. There we go, because selecting them highlights all four sides. If I do that, it's hard to tell whether that one's done yet or not. If it has actually clicked, there we go. There's one band member complete in plate form. Continues. Our fingers. Some reddish brown, some dark grey. Some light grey. Yeah, so originally these were all done in Microsoft Paint. Downloaded the album art, shrunk it down to 32 pixels, and then I zoomed in and by eye just dropped the number of colors down. So choosing which shades of grey would become dark bluish grey, which would become black, which would become light bluish grey. Which bits over here would be light tan, dark tan, or olive green. So obviously when you pixelate the image, it gives you a lot more color options, but Lego doesn't have millions of choices. Where's the light yellow color? Is this? I think this might be bright light yellow, or is this light yellow? Like, what's the? So, what color is this called in Bricklink? And then we got olive green coming all the way down to 1 pixel past that. The boundary of the black area. So originally this was zooming in on paint and just going, okay, these can all become the same shade of color. Then I opened this all up in Lego Digital Designer that I was using at the time. And I have a suspicion here that some of these pixel choices at the time were done because this shade of yellow comes in 1x2s and 1x4 bricks. Hey, Ebe. Welcome in to another Monday off for me. This one was annual leave though, not storm related. I'm too old to go to the Tivoli on a Sunday night for a gig and then still back up with work at 6 in the next morning. Yeah, we basically got home in our front gate at about midnight. Because they were, I hadn't realised they were doing track work on the Beanley line, so the last rail bus was before the concert ended. So we were able to still get a bus to 8 Mile Plains, which saved us about 50% of the Uber fare.
Welcome to the party, pal!
There's the estimate from the valley was like $40. But it was a good gig, and all the bands. I've been to festivals, where bands run over time, or they get little delays that sort of add up across the day, so that later on times go all out of whack. But at this venue, they were like, oh, they'd do that many songs, but like they would finish on the dot of having been on there for 20 minutes for one band, 30 minutes for another. Yeah, they were I mean, it was also the last show of the tour, so for the headliners, like the non-local acts, they definitely had plenty of time to practice it and get it down to. We know that even if we talk to the crowd here and ramble a bit here, we will finish on the dot of when we say we will.
Nice legs. For a human.
And I just like the Tivoli as a venue anyway. I haven't had a bad gig there. And when I originally posted the finished photo of this, ads are running. And we're back. Yeah, so it also meant, Ebe, that we were out 2 nights in a row on a weekend. Busy little social calendar for us. Too many. Yeah, it was good though. I got to go to the wrestling. Got to see some live music. It was good. I bought a band t-shirt that wasn't black. While I was in line, my preferred design, I watched it sell out from further back in the merch line, but that's also the result of it being the last show on the tour. So they weren't rocking up with, lots of every size of shirt. Because I sort of there was a long queue. So if you're familiar with the Tivoli, the merch was in the back right corner past the bar as you come in the front door. And the lineup for the merch started far on the left, near the steps down to the other bar. So there was a big L-shaped queue in the venue. So I walked past the bar just to get a closer view at what was on offer and could already see that there were shirt sizes crossed out in permanent marker. So joined the back of the line. By the time I got up there, they'd sold all the rest. Yes, Erebri, there are other colours of band shirt. Welcome in. So yes, I now have it's a sort of greeny, tealy kind of. Well, it's not teal. It's like a dark. In Lego colors, it's more green than the dark turquoise, but it's along that kind of. Along that side of the green spectrum. Which is funny because the last time I saw Silent Planet, I wanted a green merch shirt that they had, but they didn't have any sizes left that would fit me, so I ended up with a black shirt at that gig. Alright, so this is now Eskimo Joe Black Fingernails Red Wine as 1x1 plates, so we will save this so that we don't overwrite our blank file. There we go. And yeah, when I originally posted pictures of this, when it was first built, on my Another Brick and Asphalt Facebook page, I'm pretty sure it was shared by the band's manager. It's like, oh, who's this person that's just shared my post? Oh, they work for such and such management company, right? Because I was still on.
Very cool.
I was still on Twitter back when I first built all these, and I would always post the pictures on Instagram and Twitter. And if the band had a account on that social media, I would tag them in it anyway. And I've had bands reshare stuff as well when I've remade them in Lego form. Like I've done minifigs and swapped body parts to look like certain bands. Haven't done that in a while. Oh, hang on. And just Alright, so now the next step from recreating this in 1x1 plates is to go in, and so as you can see here, this is made of, so like those 3 pixels are a single L-shaped brick. So instead of having 1,025 total parts, which, if you can see, there's a tiny little number down in Studio window just down here, which tells you the total number of parts, which does include, of course, the base plate that these are built on. And that was the whole idea. When I first came up with this idea, that the thing was I wanted them to be able to easily stack for transport. So setup for shows, you know, takes minutes. But also at 10 inches by 10 inches, it's not too far off vinyl size. So at shows where they don't put bollards up, I let people sort of pick these up and leaf through them. And when they go plate thickness, I'll just grab Ed Sheeran here as an example. You know, it's even more sort of, oh yeah, you're holding a record sleeve in your hand. So that's the next step, is now that I've built these out of bricks that I had, and in some cases ordered extras of in order to complete them. Yeah, I'll now be redoing them in plate form. The only one that I've changed so far, actually there's been 2 I've changed. Silverchair's Frog Stomp is going to get a recolor where I used a lot of lime and yellow the first time. I didn't have any parts in the bright green color, so I'll be getting bright green plates to... The frog will become more greenish and less yellowy green. And my Taylor Swift 1989, when I made that out of plates, there was a few sections where I could get more plates of certain colors in certain sizes. So like a pixel here or there sort of changed what shade of purple it was, just for the... So it would be like changing this line here from being 2 light grey and 3 dark to 2 dark and 3 light. So it's still recognizable as what it is. So now what we do is we just go down, and Studio has this merge tool. So that's the software I'm using. It is free. There is a learning curve to it. I am still finding my way a little bit. But yeah, you can merge down. So now we're at 1,012 parts instead of 1,025. It's easy to get my hand on those corner plates, and it's one of my favorite Lego pieces. So over here it's going to be easier to do that as a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 4. Like so. I'll just merge these together. And this. Just basically reducing the number of parts that I'm going to have to order and the number of types of parts. So we'll make that a corner and that a corner. Yeah, the total weight now as a plate model, we're looking at 308.8 grams. As we reduce some of these down, that will change. It'll get slightly lighter, but only slightly. Wrong thing to click. And just exclamation, and I'll do exclamation brick. There we go. So that's the other thing. If you are just joining us, I am now on a stream team, which is pretty cool. So if you are looking for more Lego people to follow, check that link out. Right. I think I'm going to use the same sort of, this is the same part selection I did in brick form, was 2 L-shaped corner things there. And yes, I made an emote using the team logo, as seen brick built here, and put some freeware hearts on it. It's a trap. We'll make that a corner. And then now what part options am I going to do around here? Could make those, if we make those corners and then that a corner, then we get a 1x2 and a 2x3. So there, that's a nice little compact way to do it. Here we'll do 2x4 and a 2x3. Merge those. Merge those. And how's your weekend been, Aerobro? Do much more truck jobs in Euro Truck? Oh, you're still on your way home. Never mind. Make that one of those. We'll go 2x4 that way. 2x3. Corner and a corner. Flying. Gonna lose every time. You're gonna lose everything. Actually, here. Just merge those. Merge those. Merge those. You're at the train station. Yes. I've been planning on taking the train last night because it's super convenient to the concert venue. And we had railworks on, so had to take buses instead. That well, at least it was easy to cancel stuff. I've only ever had one wallet where I've sat down to local shops, sat down to have lunch, and when I've got up later, I've gone, hang on, where's my wallet? It's dropped on the ground and it's not there anymore. And I'd just been to the bank, like I had cash in there, and it was like, oh man. Never a good feeling when you're like, uh-oh, where's my stuff? Yeah. All right, so we're down to 693 total parts. Three and a two. Merge this. Merge this.
Water to drink.
Thank you, Carrot. Grab some water. what I haven't cracked, and it's now probably warm, is my beer. Yeah, so these ones here are all bricks. In the case of some of the mosaics I've done previously, so like in this one, I know that some of these 2x4s that are here in purple, yes, that's a brick you can get. But when I went to my local secondhand brick shop to get the extra parts that I needed, they didn't have necessarily the purple bricks I was after, and because they charge by weight, some of these internal bricks on this build are actually plates triple stacked. So it might only be purple on this top layer and have like a yellow and a red plate underneath it. I know some of these 1x4s in here aren't bricks, which we could soon find. Or even, okay, so black 1x2, black 1x2. But if we have a look, what looked like a black 1x2, a blue 1x2, and a blue 1x4 is a white 2x4 plate, two 2x2 light grays, and then the blues and black on top were plates. This 1x6 here is a plate, not a brick. But it's triple layered to match the height of the bricks around it. But yes, no rounded ones. So these will all be, it's all done as a single flat layer. I have seen, there's a few people who you'll see on Instagram and Facebook and various Lego pages where they've layered up to make album artwork. And so to get some of these shapes, they might have multiple layers to get better curves and things. I am just purely going for a straight pixelated flat picture. All right, and Eskimo Joe finished. We'll jump back onto shuffle mode for the music. All right. Make that a corner. What I haven't done yet is checked the Bricklink store that I bought all my other bricks from last time. Nice. Choo choo. Just to see price wise whether 2x2s or 2x4s are easier / cheaper to get hold of. Actually, I will go look at his store because marketplace stores in Australia. Western Australia, and he's called Bricks Warehouse. He's got 2 million lots. That's a lot of parts. Oh no, 2 million pieces in 24,000 lots. That's still a lot of bricks. And let's sort by color. Bright light yellow. This will be the thing, is like what plates are available in this shade of yellow here. Yeah, as a comparison, what have I got that's actually live right now? I've got 34,000 pieces in my Bricklink store in 3,600 lots. So yeah, him having, a couple million pieces. Yeah, there's a reason my Bricklink store is, 50-ish storage containers, and his is an actual little warehouse you can go to and do local pickup if you were on the other side of the country. Okay, let's see. So we have... Okay, so this shade of yellow he has hundreds of 1x1 plates, 1x2 plates. Doesn't have any 1x3s, but he's got 1,000 1x4 plates. So... And 2x4s are 21 cents, 1x4s are 8 cents. So it's cheaper to get... It's cheaper to do these as 1x4s than to get 2x4s. Good to know. Let's look up his dark red while we're here. Yeah, it's all brand new bricks. He does next day fulfillment. He does flat rate shipping. Like there are parts that he sells that, I sell for less, but he's got hundreds and thousands of them. So I'm like, I'm just going to buy from you because I can get them all in one hit. I don't have to think about, can I save myself one or two here and there? Alright, he's got plenty of dark red 1x1s, 1x2s, and so on. Alright, here's the money question. Okay, so dark red 2x2s he sells for 13.9 cents each, but the 2x4s are 10.6 cents each, so it's actually cheaper to get a single 2x4 than a single 2x2. So yeah, doing this section will definitely be 2x2s. So yeah, it does become, when you're looking at these parts down here, it becomes a question of like, is it cheaper to go this combo or this combo? From his store, it's cheaper. Like when I did the Beatles album and the Frog Stomp, the 2x2 plates in white, 2 of those are cheaper than a single 2x4 plate. So, whereas it was the opposite with the black. The black, the cheaper option was to get a single larger plate. Alright, and dark red comes in... So this was 13... So... Two... Yeah, cheaper option here will be to go... A 1x6. A 1x6. And then a single... Why did that not merge? There we go. Oh, hang on, let me just check this. So 21 plus 12 is 33. Seventeen plus 14 is 31. So what we'll actually do, the cheapest thing here is actually to go a 3, a 4, and a 6. A 3 and a 4 is cheaper than a 6 and a 1. We'll merge those. Yes, so this one you can see up in the corner here, I am logged in. So I can actually, let me hide this for a sec. Music will disappear for a sec, but it's not going to VOD anyway, so up in the corner here, there's a little shopping cart, so I can add it to a wanted list. Add to wanted list, and from there on the site, it would go to a store. If I go model info, from there I can also just add it directly to a wanted list. So it's still a two-step process. You add it to a wanted list, and then from your wanted list page, you can just go, hey, find me the optimal number of stores that can get me most of this. And they've got a couple different algorithms that can try and buy it from more than one shop, or do you want to just get most of it from one? What I have done in the past as well is, so like with this, so what I did with this this store is, because he had the Technic pieces that we needed for our Brickworld mock contribution, I had them in the cart, and then I had the Led Zeppelin, the Pink Floyd, the Opeth all saved as their own wanted lists. And then when I was in his shop, you can filter parts by your wanted list, and so it'll just show, these are the parts on your wanted list, and if they're in stock, it'll tell you how many he has, and you just add that number to your cart. And then I would change which wanted list I would untick, and then retick a different wanted list to go, okay, what does he have that I need for Pink Floyd? And if there are parts from the other one that you've already put in the cart, it'll still say on the side, oh, you've already got, 50 in your cart, but you want 20 more for this mosaic. You just add 20, update your quantities, and it sort of does it all that way. So I just went individual wanted lists per album cover, and just one at a time put those quantities into my cart. And that's how I ended up with 1,700 pieces coming to my house. So that was for the four album covers, the mosaic sections that Kara and I are doing for Brickworld, and also the parts that I needed to do this QR code. So it was about a kilo of Lego. And so yeah, finally able to build that code today. Bring the music back in the corner. And the soundboard dropped out. And I've put the little... I've put that square logo on that scene for the moment because it's over the top of every other scene, so I'll change that later. Yeah, Kara's never really surprised by Lego parts orders, Erebro. Alright, let's see what he's got in olive green. 1x2, 1x1, 1x3s. He doesn't have many 1x4s. 2x2s, 2x4s. Okay, it's got a few, so if I make that a 2x2, that's doable. But 2x3 is not an option. And he only has 3 1x4s, so kind of in one hit, yeah, because I've never really thought about it, and because normally you're doing stuff with other people, I guess, so it's like so we'll make that a 1x3, we'll make that a 1x3, that a 1x2, and that a 1x3, and that's the... And as long as I don't have 57 or more than 57 1x3s, I've got 3 so far. Yeah. We'll be fine ordering parts. Merge those. Merge those and merge those. And now the question here is a 2x2 is 14 cents. Okay. $14 and $9, 23. Okay. Yeah, it's an inconvenient. I could do it if I do. Yeah, this here using the 2x2, using other 2x2s in here would also require more 1x1s. But if I can do most of this with like lots of 1x2s, that's a. I'd rather do it that way. Bridge over troubled water. Merge those down. Let's do some corners here. Two by three there. We'll merge those down to that. Almost home. Nice. We're down under 500 parts now. Merge those, merge those. You know what? Here we'll take those out, we'll move that there, and we'll copy one of those into there instead. Is your hearing back after last night, Kara? Or after the wrestling? The screaming kids? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Erebri. So we went to the professional wrestling on Saturday night with Eve and Led and Damo and Darkspark, and yeah, there were kids behind us that were screaming, and they were very high pitched. They were using very colorful language. Kara had earbuds in, not even listening to music, just to like block out frequencies and stuff. And yeah, it was still bad. Yeah, there was a wrestler called Jesse, and they were just yelling, "Fuck you, Jesse." Except they couldn't pronounce Jesse. They just saw it written on the sign, so they were calling him G's. Yeah, that's right. They were calling him G's. And just like yelling, "Fuck you, fuck you." And then I don't care if I swear. It's like, okay, little kid, calm down. But yeah, when the adults around, like you could see adults like in the row in front of, like, we were sitting behind Led and Ebe, and then there were others off to the side in front of them who could hear it and were just cringing. Like, it was just like, oh, really, kids? Like, it's like, good on you for getting into it, but also, like, there's a time and a place. And then, of course, we then followed that up with a night of metalcore. So, yeah, as soon as we got in there, Kara was like, "No, my ears are ringing again." Oh, I think this mosaic might actually now be done. I think everything's been merged down to a nice lower number. Oh no, we got this whole section here. But we've gone from 1,025 down to about 316. All right, there we go. Now we're down to 301. So 300 plus the base plate. So that's pretty cool. Nice number there. Oh, no, don't click that. So this we'll now save as plates. And now time for the next one. So this one is saved. We'll now carry on with another mosaic. Actually, we will select those. And change them to black. And I like this, that you can have content colors. So as soon as you've put pieces into your design that are these colors, there's a palette here of what's already there. But I can also set favorite colors. So if I do lots of builds that use, so I can add white as a favorite. I can add tan as a favorite, and then every build I do, they're an option already there. Can I remove them from here? Oh yeah, right click, remove. Okay. One day I'll use that. And everybody can use a keyboard. Yay. I mean, go for it, everybody. Can't promise I'll do it. I might try it. Yeah. See how far along that goes. So that's to there. 4, a 3, and a 3. So 4, a 3, and a 3. And then a single pixel. Basically, it depends on how recognizable it is at a 32 pixel resolution. Ah, right. Gotcha.
Welcome to the party, pal!
It is 3 o'clock. This one's a 10. There's orange. Those 2 pixels are orange. Right, let me switch here. We'll go back to non-shuffle mode. Eskimo Joe can move aside, and I'll show you what I'm actually doing now. Orange, medium blue. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. And we are in ads. I am going to go and swap this out for an actual cold one. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with a cold beer and with a Metal Bands t-shirt that is not black. This is the that's the merch from last night. Big flower print on the back as well. I wanted a black floral one that had their logo on the back with a bunch of flowers, but that's the one that sold out. So yes, I am going to crack a cold one. And at least on my end, the crack timed with the whoop on the guitar in the song. So, cheers everyone. All right. We are continuing to redesign this brick mosaic. They're bricks on a single base plate down into plate form. Because I'm using different software now to keep track of what I need, I'm having to basically digitally build this. So that I can then make my wanted list, go order my parts. And then I'll rebuild that on stream as well. Those are light bluish gray. Put some brown up there. Some reddish brown around there, and then that's actually the sky. So the sky comes up around this little dome. And from there, it's a straight line of 10 pixels. And dark tan now. Some of this is knowing like where the colors are in the palette. So olive green, for example, is on the yellow list and it's on the green list. Dark tan is on the
Water.
orange list
drink.
and on the yellow. If you want
The best
brown,
drink in existence
you
is
want
the
reddish
Pan-Galactic
brown,
Gargle Blaster.
you have to
The
go
effect
for
of
red
which
and
is
orange.
like
It's
having
in
your
that
brain
sort of
smashed out by a slice of lemon wrapped around a large gold brick.
Kara. Kara coming in for the hydrate, the cheers, and the dance break. And yes, the Chris Hemsworth from the El Royale has been removed from dance break because when these go to YouTube,
He's not brainy in that doctor, lawyer, banker way, but he has something else. He has a
the deep purple that's quietly in the background
sensual intelligence.
is enough for this to be blocked in some locations.
What is it with chicks and horses, huh?
That your video is not viewable in certain locations. So just for the ease of not having to do anything about it, it's been quietly retired from the clips that can be triggered. Night after night, willing to hold her. And as much as I'm an 80s, 90s kid by birth, I grew up with my parents' record collection, so this album is a big part of my, like, music, what I grew up listening to. Bow, bow, bow. And like when we came back to Australia, and so this is one that we had on cassette. Because I think one of my uncles basically recorded a bunch of my parents' records onto cassette for them. So this is one that I would listen to growing up. And then coming back to Australia is when I discovered like Bread, a few other bands. I was like, yeah, I dig this. Whereas actual 90s music, it's like, yeah, I got into that a bit later. Everybody's talking. There's a new kid in town. So like this, rumors. Bunch of stuff. Oh, the record club where you're like basically paying full price to rent it. Yeah, my brother signed up for one of those. In high school. Oh, and when he was the first one of us to get a TV. He got a DVD player, and it was back in the day where it was like the shop he bought his TV from had the same kind of deal where it was like he got X number of DVDs, and he'd get to watch one, he'd have to return it back to the shop, and then however many it was that he was able to borrow from them, whichever one was the final one was the one you got to keep. So like you had to carefully choose which one was your 20th or whatever it was. But he didn't have to pay for them. That was just kind of a thing the shop threw in with. Oh, you've bought this DVD player while everyone else is still using VHS. Here, have some free stuff that you have to give back. do, 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 do. Turn for the worst. Haven't seen a goddamn thing. Got lost. Life in a fast lane. There we go. There is Hotel California. All the time. File, save as. Mosaic Eagles. Hotel California. One by one. So the other thing that this will tell you is when you go to the model info. So there's 14 different lots, 1,025 pieces. So 36 blue 1x1s, 529 black ones, 17 dark blue, 266 tan. So it gives you the part breakdown like that. And it estimates on average price at the moment that this whole thing will cost about $74 Aussie. Because the base plate alone is, come on, hate this. The program stalls a bit when you click on the base plate. It's thinking about it. It's like, gotta find the data. Come on. It'll load down the bottom of the screen here. Yeah, it's about $10 for the base plate. Whereas these are 7 cents, these are 5 cents, these are 6 cents, 6 cents, 5 cents. And now we go in and we do the merging. Merge those. Okay, that's the dark tan done. And it's right click and rotate the mouse to pivot your view around like that. Left clicking is your select one. If you hold down spacebar and left click, similar to things like Photoshop, it's just to drag it around at the same angle. So you can scroll in and out to zoom and then spacebar, slide around. Now, did this guy have dark red corner plates? That's the next question. Yeah, he's got 66 of them. Cool. Been wasted time. And just by number of parts that he has, we could do that as a 2x2 and a 2x1. He doesn't have many 2x3s. Do that as a corner. This whole little building here can be made out of these corner plates. And then I'll continue around there. He doesn't have any more 1x3s, so if we make that a corner, just do these as 1x2s. Get on with mine. Wasted time. Undo. What did I don't know what I clicked then, so we'll just click undo.
Rules.
Merge those.
For the
The
customers.
rules.
But they apply to you as well.
No mobiles, no wigwams,
Walkmans.
no
Walkmans.
snotty car, no sno. This is indecipherable.
Look,
Look,
it's perfectly simple.
it is perfectly simple. No mobiles, no Walkmans,
None of that.
None of that.
Got
Or
any of the other others. Wait, what's that pixel there meant to be? Oh, maybe that was where that one came from. Don't have any ghost pieces lying around. Something went wonky there. And then this is the reprise is on side 2. So we're now on side 2 of the album. So Wasted Time finishes side A. And then you flip it over. And you get that little bit of a thing. I like this song. Bow. 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 Meow. Meow. Down, down, down. That's good that shipped already, Kara. How many cards are in those packs that you ordered? Is it a pack of 100 or something? I did an Amazon order for Kara of stuff, and that arrived this morning. That's pretty good. Yeah, 5 packs of 100. Wow. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do this as 1x4s. I've been around the world, friends. The talk is for losers and fools. But I'm not. Ew. Guitar solo. What if we made that a 1x4 there? Take that out. Move that along one. Take that out. $7.8 kilos. Nice. Paste those there and merge them. So then we can make that a 2x3 there. Merge those. Merge those. One on the end. One there. Go. Hey there, how are ya? Do that as a 2x4 here. $15 packs of bling, 17 packs of cardstock, 5 packs of packaging. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff, Karen. I'm just going to delete these and do this. Copy, paste, 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 paste. Each order was above the free shipping. Yep. Nice. Well, that's what I did with this Lego order. Was the guy does free shipping over 149, I think, Aussie. So that was fairly. Once you do a few mosaics, it was easy to kind of go, yep, I'm at that number of parts now. Challenge accepted. We're down under 700 parts now. We'll make that there. One of those there. Make that a corner. And we'll just continue this 2x4 thing as much as we can. Into the corner there. Merge them. Merge those. And you're out there on your own. That'll be 1x4. That will be the corner in there. can always rotate the logo. Thank you for the Pedro Urbai. Spared no expense filling a minifig down a toilet roll holder. Or toilet roll. Spared no expense. And thanks to Millennium for adding the music to that. Now we'll do this as a 2x3 here, and a 1x3 there. That can be a 1x4 along there. Merge those. There's a 6. We've already got one of them on the order, so that'll on the. Oh. I'm sure there's a 1x6 somewhere. If not, there is now. Yeah, in the tree. There's one there. There's one there. Alright, so the black plates are all somewhat optimized. Bright yellowish orange is done. Orange, we can merge those ones there. What little dark tan is done. The brown, we can nearly miss those two. And then, let's see. This bit down here is looking pretty good. So now we can work on the tan. We're at 512 parts right now. Let's see how low we can get this down. There's a 2x3. And some of these tan we'll be also using in the rumors rebuild. Which I just looked for, but doesn't appear to be at hand. It's hiding behind the other ones here. So we're going to need a lot of tan plates for this and for rumors. Okay, this is one of my favorite songs. For a place to hide. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I'll merge those. What if we make that a corner? No. We'll merge these up. We'll merge these up. Merge those. All right. So that is now 306 parts. That's pretty good. There is a lot of single pixel stuff going on in here. Alrighty. And we are... So that's all the brick mosaics that I have up here to rebuild. We did the Clash, we did the Coldplay, we did the Frog Stomp one last time. We physically built Led Zeppelin. So that was the last one rebuilt. So now we'll save this file as Hotel California plates. And then I can create my wish list and start doing my next order from this guy in Western Australia. Other thing we did today, so I'll jump back to bring the other camera back. There we go. So that was the other build today. That and this one here. So yes, if you weren't here at the start of stream, this is the latest bit of news, is I'm on a stream team now. So if you're already in that Discord, you'll get notifications when I go live. And yes, the bees in the brick building, I went into Studio and designed them as 2 studs deep. I'll jump back to the other one. So physically built them. in Brick, and then the QR code takes you to that team page as well. Back to that camera, which is now weird because if I do that Brick shout out now, technically it's kind of shouting myself out a little bit because I am on that list. Mice indeed. So we've been going for 2 hours 45. I have nothing else here to prep mosaic wise. So I think we'll go hang out with Led as this song comes to an end. You want to try the QR code? I'll hit pause on the tunes because that's a nice spot to finish. That was the end of the album. Love that song. So yes, the QR code should work. Should take you to the
Perhaps you should read the instructions first.
Community page. Whereas the shout out link takes you to the Twitch team page. Still a little bit different. The Twitch page actually will have the sort of who's live. And oh look, it says another Brick and Apple's live, and it says Led B-Man is live. Well, guess where we're going? We're going to go say g'day to Led. So cheers everyone for hanging out. Cheers to Quack for the raid. And some of you might know Led. Led is a another Aussie Lego builder. And today's he's never live. It's their raid train day. So let's do the thing.
Begin auto-destruct sequence. Authorization Picard 47 Alpha Tank.
Cheers, Ebe. So grab your raid calls. I'll get this thing started here. And we will be heading across there soon. And so yeah, the plan will be at this point Friday will be the next Lego stream. And Saturday back to Tomb Raider. And see how long till I rage quit. And then Sunday probably be doing some Euro Truck, but we'll see. I'm hoping to get through Tomb Raider so that I can change the games up a little bit. Get the brick separator out where it led B-Man. Nice one, Kara. And I am going to try and get one more afternoon/evening into my schedule. Thursday possibly, because that would work with my work schedule. But we'll see. I also want to do I'm going to do something Wednesday Arbo as well this week, but we'll see. Until then, I've been Bricko, you've been awesome, and let's go say hi to Led. Get the brick separator out indeed. Bye everyone.